Hey everyone, this is Andy Hall. With me, of course, is the incredible, the wonderful Jack Maturko. How are you, Jack?
I am enjoying the spirit of patriotism that swells in the heart of the American Satanist.
Massachusetts has one of the worst state mottos. The spirit of America is the state of Massachusetts. And that's not true.
That's your motto?
That's our motto, dude.
That's not true.
That came out during the early 1980s with Michael Dukakis as governor. And no, the state of Massachusetts, we do not have the spirit of America.
No, the spirit of New England for sure. But
yes,
you got New England locked down.
Well, yeah, we got that down. So all of you, and I just want to say hello to everyone in the chat, right? D Parks, Tobin, Cryptameria, Midnight Chimes. Hello, everyone. And Kendra. I'm glad to see that you're all here. Now you will notice that I am here. Jack Maturko is also here, but our guest Joe Badon, he is not here. Maybe aliens? I don't know. Joe does these.
Could be, man. I mean, I've seen those trailers. He might have just vibrated into another dimension or something.
Let's show the trailer.
Let's show the trailers. Maybe he's just running late.
And maybe he's running late, and we'll do the trailer, and then we're just going to play this out, everyone. The wonders of having a live show. That's what this is.
Who knows? We might just take comments from the chat for the rest of the show after that. Who knows?
Well, Jack is going to do some freestyle rapping, I think, if we have to really do this. All right, so here it is.
Hey, kids. It's your old pal, Uncle Bobo. Where have you been hiding? I've been looking all around for you. I sure am glad to see you. Weyer comes from Dinosaurs. Yes, boy Buckley, what is it?
The blood of the dinosaurs, a prologue to the Wheel of Heaven. And that's where babies come from.
So that is Joe's doing two movies. One is The Blood of the Dinosaurs, which actually Jack and I saw a copy of. It's not completely edited all the way through, but we saw, I don't know, maybe a good 15 to 20 minutes of the flick. And it is a prequel to The Wheel of Heaven. Yes, all my atheist, biblically knowledgeable friends out there, The Wheel of Heaven. And if you were here to listen to the last conversation or to watch the last conversation with Joe, you know that Joe is an ex-minister of a charismatic Protestant church. He no longer is. He's doing filmmaking, of course. He's also a comic book artist. And so, yeah, there are religious imagery in his films.
He's clearly working through some stuff through his art.
And he is, and that's great, right? It's great that he's working through stuff. And
I think that's part of what it's for, so sure.
I think that you can't do art without, some of yourself bleeding into it. And with him and his art form, he just gushes it all over the place.
Yeah, it's kind of the difference between art and graphic design, right?
Yeah, exactly. Indeed. All right, everyone. So obviously the guest isn't here. I have no idea where the guest is.
So we got 55 minutes to fill, and we are at your disposal.
So
we're AMA this, or what's the plan, Andy? How have you been?
Let's see. Well, I got really drunk last night, and I did atheist drinking out loud. I got so drunk that I got quiet, Jack. That's how drunk I got.
Really?
I was doing shots because there's usually like a hyper verbal Andy after a couple of drinks, but I kind of leapfrogged right into hardcore. I don't know what I'm doing to my
kind of like when you're playing pool or darts, like 2 or 3 beers and you get good, and anything over that, like you have to, it becomes a disaster. Yeah.
It becomes a hot mess, a hot mess of a disaster. That's what it is. Yeah. I'm going to say this too. I did put Joe's Kickstarter in the chat, and I believe it's in the description too. So if you want to see his Kickstarter video too, which is really clever, Joe does this non-traditional style of storytelling, and his Kickstarter video definitely explains his style pretty well.
It is very intriguing stuff to watch.
Yeah, very Lynchian, maybe. Dennis Lynch.
Lynchian,
right?
yeah. I'd say Lynchian. I'd go along with that.
Yeah. D Parks. Well,
what are we doing giving him good plugs? He just didn't show up.
I prefer to think that he had a heart attack or a stroke than blow us off. That's my positive vibe on this, Jack Materko.
I assume it's something, because he's always been he's been on the Naked Diner. He's been on this a couple times. He has never been anything but dependable. So we don't have any reason to assume that he played.
Right. Yeah. He's not a slacker. And he came out with a movie. Well, he was on just in October of last year promoting Sister Tempest, which has done pretty well in terms of awards. It got at the Sin City Horror Fest in 2020, of course. He got the Best Director Award. His editor got Best Editing, and he got the Best Feature, too, the Sin City Horror Fest. It's gotten some traction in terms of, accolades. Let's see. Death is positive. Well, if it's either his death or him blowing us off, I prefer to live in a world where he's dead, to tell you. No, I'm just kidding. So, Jack, I had all these plans, right, of stuff to do. I had all these plans for this weekend. I was going to do an edited video. I had a comedy bit worked up. Let me show you my new glasses, if anyone.
Oh, sure.
So these are my new glasses, right?
Okay.
And so I was doing this. I had already written it out. The writing part of comedy is easy for me. But I was going to film and drop a new video regarding my new glasses. I had this whole routine set up with my glasses, but then I had to work today. There was an emergency at work, and so I had to go into work, and that blew out all of my morning and early afternoon. And then I did atheist drinking out loud, and so that just pretty much blotted out my entire Saturday. And of course, today is July 4th, and I think holidays. Thank you, Kendra, for the glasses and for the compliment. And today was just July 4th, and I forgot that today was a holiday because I had a whole bunch of other things planned out, and then I had to do family and friends stuff, and then I watched some of my old conversation with Joe Badon from back in October, and then I saw this movie. I saw half of this Bergman movie called Hour of the Wolf, which is on YouTube, which is influential to Joe's work. And it's one of those movies that when you see Hour of the Wolf, you see shades of The Lighthouse, the movie The Lighthouse, and Ari Aster, the guy the filmmaker who created Hereditary and Midsummer. So Hour of the Wolf. It is worth checking out. It's dark, it's black and white, it's a beautiful movie. It's
my daughter last watched Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, huh?
Yeah, she's really into it. It's nothing I could do. I've been a big detractor of Disney for a long time, but I can't help it because the kid likes it, and what are you going to do, right? And honestly, it's actually not as bad as it's not like they're being the money grubbing, copyright extending jerks that I think they are in real life in the Mickey Mouse show. So
I'm glad that you always bring up your beef with the copyright issue, Jack.
It's such a big deal to me.
Okay. For people who don't know about the copyright issue, would you like to give a short TED talk on it?
Yeah, it's all Sonny Bono's fault. No, it is kind of Sonny Bono's fault, but constitutional. This is and how come constitutional originalists never get on the copyright thing, right? Because when everything started, the original term of copyright was like 14 years with a possible 14-year extension or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. If you renewed, so 28 years total, and then it goes into the public domain, and then newer, younger artists can take that and make new stuff from it and keep making stuff. But subsequently, corporations buy up all the copyrights, and then they just push the government to extend copyright again and again and again. And now copyright is something like 70 years plus life of the artist, or life of the artist plus 70 years, like after you die, 70 years after that, which is way too long for things to be copyrighted. It's ridiculous.
I think we're having a theme here of artists dying young for our benefit. So it seems like you're saying we just kill off, creators after they do their best work. If they're young, then that means it just goes into public domain that much faster.
Well, no, that's not what the issue should be there. The issue should be that it shouldn't, that work should be available for newer artists to borrow from and make art on top of, right? Stand on the shoulders of giants kind of stuff.
Right.
Should be available for artists to make derivative works from much sooner than after you die plus 70 years.
Right, exactly.
Which is how the whole Creative Commons thing started, because people were sick of things taking that long.
So Kendra says, I love movies. Any recommendations? I did see The Lighthouse a couple of months ago. It had been out for a while, but it was in the midst of the pandemic, and so I thought, I should really see that.
Since we're talking about like weird, Joe's stuff is weird and cerebral and kind of Lynchian. I would say Zero Theorem, anything Terry Gilliam is worth watching.
Terry Gilliam, yeah, he is the man who did 12 Monkeys, a Python, alum. Brilliant work.
Brazil is Terry Gilliam.
Yeah, not a feel-good movie.
Fantastic movie.
Not a feel-good movie, but
most of it. No, his movies are generally not feel-good movies, but
no,
a little bit. Fisher King's pretty feel-good.
Oh, The Fisher King with Robin Williams in it, right?
Yeah,
I remember seeing that in the. This is how old I am. I remember seeing that in the movie theater. Back when we went to movie theaters. when we went to movie theaters. Actually, one of the movies I thought was really disappointing was Wonder Woman 1984. I saw that and I'm like, wow, this is just a stinking pile of garbage.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not going to ruin the plot for anyone who wants to see it on their own to see if I'm right or not about Wonder Woman 1984 being.
This has been. I don't understand why that is. What the difference is between, Disney and Warner. That the Marvel is very good at movies. DC has never been that great at movies. Even like the Batman, the Nolan trilogy, is kind of a standout.
That is a standalone.
Right, but in terms of like DC Universe movies, DC has never really gotten it together. They're great at animation, but not so great at movies. I don't know whether it's a longer format or what, but
yeah. D Parks agrees with me. Wonder Woman 1984 was underwhelming, and I really liked the first Wonder Woman movie too, partially because it was took place in World War I, and I'm a big geek nerd, and but 1984. how underwhelming that was. I'll say this, that my favorite movie of all time is the same movie of all time of Mark Maron's, comedian Mark Maron's. Did you know that, Jack Maturka?
I did not. Which movie is that?
It is Woody Allen's Crimes and Misdemeanors. Yes, he made it before all the ugliness came out about him, or most of the ugliness. You know, it was back in it was in the mid 80s when it came out, but it had this interesting parallel story structure. So you had a really serious storyline about a murder, plus a traditional Woody Allen kind of storyline. And they both ran in parallel with each other up until the last 5 minutes of the movie where they intersected. And Martin Landau is there with Woody Allen's character talking about basically whether or not there's any kind of moral arc to the universe, whether or not there's any kind of morality baked into the cosmos. And well, Kevin Anderton, who's been on the show, Midnight Chimes, Crimes and Misdemeanors, best movie line ever. Here we go. The last time I was inside a woman was when I visited the Statue of Liberty. Yeah, that was really funny. That was classic. And of course, Crimes and Misdemeanors is based on Crime and Punishment, right? Mm-hmm. Dostoevsky? I think that's Dostoevsky and not Tolstoy. The Czech and
you're correct, but that's Dostoevsky.
Okay, Dostoevsky, right. Because that sounded like Dostoevsky to me. Yeah.
Well, at least we agree that we think that's who it is. We might both be wrong until somebody Googles it, but
Jack.
But we're pretty sure. We high degree of confidence.
High degree, right? And the thing is, Jack Maturko, you're not here for your stunning good looks, right? Though
obviously,
right. But of course, being the smarter of the two of us.
Well, I don't know. I tend to be pretty good at retaining crap in my brain. I don't know if that makes me smarter.
The only way that we can really solve
I did have an interesting conversation this week where I tried to explain how the IT of the Matrix would have to work for the red pill and blue pill.
Okay, we'll go on about that. I'm intrigued.
Well, so basically, so somebody asked me what the deal with the red pill and blue pill was and how it could possibly work, and I said, well, if you think about it, yes, it's this whole flashy virtual environment, but essentially it's still just, a point and click kind of option. So the red pill is disconnect hard drive and the blue pill is reset to backup, right?
Right. Oh, I could definitely see that. And you explained it very well, to tell you the truth, so that even my non-tech brain could wrap around it.
Right, because it's still just, Sorry, I was reading one of the comments.
Oh, yeah. I have to tell you, never saw The Razor's Edge. I'm going to make that admission right now. Never saw The Razor's Edge.
Neither have I.
I'll say probably, my girlfriend and I, we she saw Zombieland for the first time. We had seen Zombieland. I had seen Zombieland a number of times. Woody Harrelson in it. Bill Murray does a little walk on for a period of time in Zombieland. And she enjoyed it. She enjoyed it quite a bit. And actually, I was talking about this yesterday, that we saw Ted, and she is now a Seth MacFarlane believer. She is a believer in the great Seth MacFarlane. Praise the Lord, hallelujah. She just thought it's stupid humor. It's just stupid jokes. It's like, no, you got to give it a chance. Seth MacFarlane does smart jokes as well as stupid jokes.
He does smart, stupid jokes.
He does smart. He does such good, smart, stupid jokes.
Right? It's it's a dumb joke, but you really have to have a pretty good depth of knowledge to get the joke in the first place, kind of thing. Every once in a while,
Yeah, exactly. Interesting fact: I was looking through his Wikipedia page, which, of course, all of it has to be true. But he graduated from Rhode Island School of Design, right here right down in Rhode Island, not too far from here, RISD. Yeah. So I would say that my favorite Bill Murray movie is, and it would have to be Groundhog Day. If I was going to be trite, maybe that's trite. I don't know. That would be my favorite. Though I will say I see Scrooged every year around Christmas time, if I can. I think your robot. Hey, what's up, Scarlett? Maybe you have to turn it off and turn it on, Jack. I don't know.
What?
You're roboting in and out, basically. So this is the live show, everyone, where the guest doesn't show up. And Jack's internet connection is a bit choppy. Here you go. I think
that's odd. Yeah, I don't know. My internet's like all week. I don't know what's going on.
Is it the heat?
Be the heat. It could be that they're mad at me because I keep doing all this streaming for this state out of my house. And just chewing bandwidth, but you know, they didn't tell me I can't. So
right now, this is Marmaduke Scarlett says there's a great limited series on Netflix Australia. Don't know if it's available in the USA. Sounds interesting. You know, I really like Scrooge 2D Parks. I mean, yeah, it has Buster Poindexter in it, right? It had a variety of and Bobcat Goldthwait when he was still doing the voice, when he was still acting like Bobcat Goldthwait.
yeah.
Did I ever tell you how I was sitting next to Bobcat Goldthwait at the pub? Probably about 2 years ago. Yeah. So we were going to, for those of you who don't know the story, the Burn in my buddy Kevin, who's in the chat, knows this. He may not know the story. So Eugene Merriman is a local comedian. He does Gene's voice for Bob's Burgers, lives down the Cape, and he made a movie, and Bobcat Goldthwait was associated with it. Now I didn't know Bobcat Goldthwait was associated with it. I didn't know the Bobcat was in the area. And so I'm at the Burn, sitting at the bar with my girlfriend. I'm just rolling out the trash of crap that I talk under normal circumstances. And, and I noticed the guy next to me. He had this little pork pie hat on. Bobcat Goldthwait, a lot of times, when he's walking around, he has a pork pie hat on. And I didn't realize until we were actually in the theater. And I'm talking to Bobcat Goldthwait because he's like right there. He's right in the row in front of us. And I'm going, you were the dude right next to me at the fucking Burn. I cannot believe. And I said, hey, I'm a big fan of your work. I was there and I saw you do because he did the documentary on Barry Crimmins, Call Me Lucky.
Yeah.
And I saw Barry perform at the old comedy studio. And I could have had
Shakes the Clown, probably one of the best movies about clowns ever made, I think.
And we could have had this entire conversation at the Burn, and I could have gotten him on the channel or on the podcast. But then the movie started, and I had to shut the fuck up and sit down. And he was busy, doing Bobcat Goldthwait, star stuff. But I had a window. Everyone. The Beautiful Lie is retelling of Anna Karenina with a bit of comedy thrown in. I did not know that. And I have not seen the documentary the Times did on January 6th, D Parks.
Have you been watching a lot of documentaries?
What?
Yes. Shakes is a great movie.
There you go. So have I been watching a lot of documentaries? I don't even know what we've been rewatching the Louis C.K. bit, the Louis C.K. Short series, Horace and Pete. We've been watching that. I've been watching way too much like crap. I've been watching a lot of news too, right?
Yeah, watch news. You have to watch.
Yeah, and everyone. Yeah. So you recommend the Times, the docket puts it all together, Marmaduke Scarlett? Well, I think that at least we can all be thankful that Donald Trump's going to be reinstated as president in August.
Did you see the Jordan Klepper thing where he went out and talked to them about talk to the My Pillow guy? Like, it was amazing watching him switch from I'm talking to the audio. Oh, this is the guy Bill Huckster behind them. He just turned and like went for the throat. And I was impressed.
Yeah. Being doing comedy out in the streets, especially that, like the Sacha Baron Cohen kind of comedy, which is in its own category, but doing what he did, interviewing Trump supporters, that's dangerous work. Yeah, that's dangerous. Jack, every once in a while, I will tell people about our time during the 2016 election. And it's like, no, but I really told people on our show, that I thought Trump was going to be president. And and universally told I was full of shit. It's like, oh, Jack was only here.
I have that audio somewhere. I think on the broken computer I have up in the closet that I would need to yank the hard drive out of to get at. But I'm pretty sure I have the audio of the 2016 election night with you, which is like 4 hours of us getting drunk and kind of being despondent.
Yeah, it was like being 16 again in my parents' home, my adopted parents' home, and realizing all the horrible suspicions I had about them was actually true. That was what 2016 election night was for me. It's like all that stuff I thought I knew about what was going to happen to the country. It's like, wow, it actually is happening. How about that?
This is the thing I get to be right. Damn it.
Yeah, I get to be right. That's great. You want to talk about Satan? What's going on with Big Satan, Jack?
Man, it feels like we're kind of in a little hiatus, at least as far as the state stuff, because we've got this gap from now until unveiling day, which is actually only like 3 weeks away. But we did a big thing in April. We did the whole Grey Faction conference thing, which, by the way, if you go to the Satanic Temple TV, if you like watching people talk about, weird satanic panic conspiracy, we made 14 hours of stuff in a weekend, and it's all up on TST TV under the Grey Faction conference, or the Satanic Estate Presents, 2 tags. But it great amount of great stuff there. And then we just did Pride last week, which was really good. I mean, a straight white guy just kind of being tech support for Pride. Well, all my gay friends did amazing stuff, but
right.
But it was really cool to do, and it was a lot of fun, and there was a lot of good stuff there. So,
what's fascinating about what we do here? And Jack, we've been working together for, I think we were saying before the show started, like 8 years, right?
7-8 years, yeah.
So this is what happens before every single show. Basically, it's like Jack and I will be talking, and I'll be like, I've done some research on this. I've been doing this for like 2 hours. I'm ready to fucking go. And Jack's like, well, okay. You do the Marin technique. You just kind of walk on. You do,
I walk in knowing what I know.
You walk in knowing what you know. And this is, I'm not even frustrated that much that Joe's not here, because I'm sure it's for a good reason. But literally everyone, like a couple of hours have gone in, just like plowing into doing
TST. We got Tobin's got a question there. Does TST take souls for? I don't know. You'd really have to ask Lucian, because as far as I know, he's the only one who's got a record out. I get, well, that's not true. There's some other people in bands in TST, but
so how is this?
I've never tried to get a record deal, so.
Yeah.
Which is another thing. I'm going to be, can I talk about that?
We can't talk about that thing. You can't talk about that thing that we're both involved with. The project, the secret project we can't talk about. You can't talk about that.
Right. But I will say that we did some interesting shooting for a project in Santa Cruz with Sadie Satanis, where I got to dress like a priest. So that was fun.
Is that the picture that you showed me?
Yes.
That's good, dude. What's up? What do you think? Glad to see that you're here. Blazing, just to catch you up with everything. This is what happens when the guest doesn't show up. Jack and I just talk.
So now we're just chatting. Oh, there's fireworks going off. This is the problem with the 7:30.
Well, yeah. It's apparently a holiday today.
It is, and you know, this is Arizona. They like the fireworks despite the Forest Service recommendations, and they like their guns. So some of it's just guns being shot in the air, I'm sure.
We can't talk about the secret project thing, though you can just imagine now that Jack and I are actually part of the same secret project that we cannot talk about.
Yes.
Yeah. And actually, Jack may know more about it than I do, because really what I do with most of my time is think about comedy, think about whatever I'm doing in this space, and working and you know, trying to be a good dad and, you know, boyfriend and stuff like that. So I think Jack probably knows more about the secret project than I do at this point, because Jack. Yeah,
I think I probably keep up with the email chatter a little better.
Yeah, you probably do.
Yeah, and I guess there's stuff we should probably just shouldn't talk about that yet.
We shouldn't talk about it. No,
not to overly tease, but you know. But since you brought it up now,
yeah. So Duke, I saw pictures at the Satanic Temple up in Salem, right? Satan HQ, that got a whole remodel, or that got, the last time I was there, which was pre-pandemic, there was still work being done in a good portion of the headquarters. Is that all done now? Do you know? Is that all?
I know that they're open again. I know that the museum has a new curator.
Oh yeah,
which is interesting. And they're starting to do, you know, new talks and exhibits and stuff like that. Cool. It's really all I can tell you from here. I haven't been up there. I'm going to see Stu in a couple weeks, and I know he was just there, so I'll probably see a ton of pictures and whatnot when I get a chance to hang out with somebody who's been there. Yeah. But I know that they made some upgrades. As I understand it, Malcolm put in a fountain. They've got a really cool weather vane up on the roof now. If you can find pictures of it.
Is it Satan on the weather for the weather vane?
You're just gonna have to go look at it.
I do. I see what you're doing there.
Well, I got to, you know, our mutual friend Thomas, who does the touring, you know, gotta leave that for him to point out on his tours.
Right. So D Park says, your mention of dressing like a priest reminded me, Friday evening, my daughters and I went to dinner, first time in a long time. We were vaccinated, and we were seated at lost the bear.
Now that is a tease.
Yes. Oh, here we go. Table next to a Catholic priest. Spent most of the meal trying and reining in my kid's mouth. Yeah, D, I have to tell you, my kids were brought up with, whenever we passed by a Catholic church, a couple of things would happen. Me thinking, well, maybe I shouldn't say anything, and then I say something like, kid fuckers.
That's the interesting thing about the dressing like a priest for the Santa Cruz stuff is we were walking around the Santa Cruz boardwalk, right? So there's me walking around dressed like a priest, and Sadie Satanis is in this kind of sexy nun outfit thing.
Yeah.
And we're walking around getting shots of us acting like we're on a date. So every once in a while we'd walk by a kid, and the kid would just have this very confused look on their face.
Yeah.
Like, not like revulsion, not like disgust, but just like, that's an option kind of look.
That's an option. That's right. Indeed. Yeah. So, all right. So Joe is really not showing up. I mean,
apparently not. I mean, you know, the college rule is if they're not there in 15 minutes, but
that has been the rule. And
that's the magic of live, Andy. The guest doesn't show, we just gotta fill.
Yeah, exactly. Doing the show tomorrow at 9 a.m. I can tell you that. The best thing about the show in the mornings, my morning shows from Monday through Friday, is that it's just me, really. It's just me in the chat. I mean,
That's
of course, working with you is fantastic, but I never have to worry about a guest not being around.
Yes. But I was just thinking that, since you're already plugging tomorrow's show, one thing that I didn't mention about the Satanic Estate stuff is that we're doing online weekly services now on Tuesdays.
Tell me what that means, online satanic services.
Yeah. Part of it is administrated by the ministry program that I don't have anything to do with. So that's Penemu's deal, who set all that stuff up. So all the ordained ministers are basically like pulling lots, or however they're deciding who is giving the presentation on any given week. But 9 p.m. on Tuesdays is when Satanists have online church available.
So how do you find out? How do you sign up? How do you watch these online satanic services?
Go to thesatanic.estate and get yourself a free ticket, because you do have to. It's ticketed because you need to have a login, because we want to be able to have auth so we can kick people out if they cause problems. But the ticket's free, so it's basically like sign up to get a login.
Right. My girlfriend states that
I believe this week Dex Desjardins from TSD Albany is going to be giving that.
Has Dex been on the show?
Dex hasn't been on our show, no.
No. My lobster shirt, I think my girlfriend gave it to me, Tons of Mice. And I just want to say thanks to Tons of Mice. I don't remember a lot from last night's show after a certain point, but my girlfriend states that Tons of Mice was incredibly funny. In fact, the chat was funnier than me and the hosts. So thank you, Tons of Mice.
9 p.m. Eastern, Dave.
9 p.m. Eastern. Yes. Dave's out on the West.
I've given up on trying to do things in the Pacific time zone, and I've just convert to Eastern now because everyone on the East Coast insists on it.
It is the Imperial time zone. All
Fucking
time zones kneel to us. Cryptameria found the site. Excellent.
Yeah, come check it out. It's lots of fun. We also do we got like after service activities. So we do like a writers group, and there's an art group, and one of our other estate caretakers, Kaylee, does Dungeons and Dragons, which is fantastic if you like watching people play D&D.
Well, those things can be really fun to observe if you get a good group of people.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of cool stuff like that going on at the estate on Tuesday nights.
Fantastic. Yeah. I think I'm out of juice, Jack.
Well, hey, I mean, 40 minutes on a we riffed for 40 minutes. That's not bad.
And it was good stuff too, to tell you the truth. She had a couple of good stories. Talked about Big Satan. Talked about movies, and considering, and to tell you the truth, I like Joe so much that and once again, if he's not dead or horribly injured by fireworks or whatever, and he is welcome to come on the channel when he wants to and when he can.
Sure.
And because
maybe it's just he didn't realize that he had agreed to do something on 4th of July and there was a conflict. Who knows? But sure, welcome back when we figure out what the heck happened.
Oh yeah, Tons of Mice. So this is with the head of the American Atheists here in Boston, right? Did I tell that story yesterday? Oh man, I don't remember how many stories I tell when I'm drunk. But yeah, basically, so people who have known me for an extended period of time have known me married. They've seen me divorced. They've seen me with divorced and with girlfriend, divorced with another girlfriend. And it isn't like I date a lot either. But this guy here in the Boston area, Zach, he just happened to see me. Whenever he saw me during these activities with Boston Atheists, it was with another girl, which gives the impression that I just went out a lot, and it isn't true. But so the first time you met the girlfriend, he's like, at the end of the conversation, he's like, hey, you should really just be, you got to be you should stay with our group even after you break up. And I'm like, right.
Which is kind of,
it's like,
that's like, hey, we really like you. You should stick around when Andy and you break up, because that we decided that's inevitable.
Right. Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's like, I'm right here when you're saying it.
It was a bit much. Yeah, that's very Larry Sanders.
Oh yeah,
like that would be a very Larry Sanders skit.
Yeah, I like hanging out here with you too, Tobin. Now I'll actually remember the conversation, or the conversations I've had. Like I said, yeah, maybe I remember a bit. So Kevin and I, we are actually Midnight Chimes. Kevin, he was on this channel a couple of weeks ago. We were talking about the music video that he, directed, and I was an extra. And we are getting together to do a comedy video that, we're going to be filming sometime this month, maybe. But we're getting together this week and talk about the nuts and bolts. And it should be pretty funny, I hope. It reads funny. I gave the script to the girlfriend, and she laughed, like out loud laughed. And so that's always a good sign.
It's a good sign.
Yeah. So, Jack, are you just working for Big Satan right now? Is this that's your job?
Yeah, mostly. I mean, there's the other thing that we can't talk about yet.
Oh, there's the other thing. Yeah, we can't talk about.
But yeah, it's mostly Big Satan work right now.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've got other couple things kicking around that may or may not pan out. But
yeah. All right. I think I'm out.
Well, not bad for the guest not showing at the last minute and pulling 45 minutes out of her ass. So
this is right.
Good for us.
I'll ask this. I'll ask the final question, Jack, and I'm not going to ask the traditional final question. But out of all the years of us working together, what is the one moment that stands out in your mind of our time together?
Way back when like one of the first times we had you on Left Hemispheres.
Right.
I don't remember the entirety of the episode. We'd have to pull it out of the archives and listen to it. All I remember is that we ended up titling the episode "Andy, Why Is the Rum Gone?"
Oh yeah,
because you had gotten very inebriated.
I remember that
during our talk.
I remember the show. I was living in
not the most. I also have like outtake audio of Nick like throwing up.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
Which is always great. I actually, is that a thing I can? I have one of your breakups on audio.
So everyone, this is a true story, and the thing is, when you're working with me, you will see. Hey, what's up, Neil? 604 Atheist. Neil is one of our drinkers on Atheist Drinking Out Loud. I hope you're doing well, Neil. Yeah. So when you're working with me, you'll notice that I'm a pretty easy guy to work with overall. I mean, I think I am. Jack, you're under no coercion. You're under no, straight. You could say that Andy Hall's a mess to work with, but I don't think I am.
No, you show up on time. You wrangle guests. You're one of the more dependable people I work with.
I hit my marks. That's what I do.
Hitting the mark is important. I agree.
But I'm completely incompetent when it comes to technology. I am incredibly incompetent. So this is a real story, and I don't know if I've actually told this story. So I was
yeah, I don't think we've told this one on the air yet. Let's do it.
All right, don't incriminate me too much for this, Jack. All right.
No, I won't. But I'll incriminate you in being it was a confluence of your lack of technical savvy and me being rushed and stressed because my fiance was pregnant and throwing up and
You're-
sick and stuff. So
Your girlfriend was stressed and pregnant and throwing up, and I was breaking up with my girlfriend.
well, we did the show. We did the show, and you. This was one of the first times you were recording. You were calling into the stream on your iPad for like one of the first times. So when the show ended, I forgot to click stop on the recording and took my headset off and walked away from my computer. And you closed the app, not realizing that the app stays open in the background, thinking that just pushing the button was gonna. And then you did whatever. And so then I came back, realized that I had gone way too long with the recording, and I had like 4 hours, so I needed to cut it down. And there's just this when you open audio in a editing software, it's got the weird jigglies. I don't know what the word for those is. Waveform, whatever it is.
Well, the waveform.
Yeah. So there's just this long line of silence, and then there's this little blippy part, and I'm like, well, what the heck is that? And I listen to it, and it's you and your girlfriend breaking up.
Well, it's me breaking up with my girlfriend, and her not being very happy with me about it. And as I've always done breakups face to face. I haven't broken up with, out of the only 9 relationships I've been in, I've been the one dumped. I think a majority of the times, to tell you the truth. But there have been times I've had to break up with someone, and it's always been face to face. And this was it was an intense moment for me, and Jack got to hear it because I didn't close out the app.
Yeah, best piece of audio I have, I think.
Yeah, I didn't hear that, Jack.
I said,
what's that?
Best piece I have laying around. Am I choppy?
You're super choppy. You're roboting. You're chopping. You're a robot chopper. That's what's going on.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, other than this show has just been. The guest didn't show up.
The guest didn't.
The
show
audio's
up.
Bad.
Yep.
This was just a disaster.
You know what? The thing is this will probably be our most popular show too. So, everyone, I don't think I'm doing a show next week. We might. I don't know, because I'm going up to see my mom. As those of you who know, my biological mom and I, we've been reconnecting, and I'm going to go up there because we haven't had a lot of time. Yes. Yeah. So I went down there once to North Carolina. She's back up in New York, and so New York State. So I'm going to go up there so we could just do some one-on-one time and have a conversation, a discussion, and yeah, before the family reunion in August, where I get to meet my extended family. Which is, yeah, right.
That sounds like it's going to be weird.
Well, it's going to be weird because I'm going to have the kids with me too, and the girlfriend.
Yeah.
Wow. And so, and the person who's getting the shit out of that stick, Jack, right? It's the girlfriend.
I don't know. I'm gonna hold out hope and just hope that you're gonna walk in and look around, and over on the buffet table there's just gonna be mayo mixed with salsa, and you're gonna be like, I found my people.
Yeah. I love mayo and salsa. Thank you for remembering that, Jack.
How could I forget something that revolting about you?
Revolting? Come on. Getting my tonsils out before the trip this time. Yes, I'm going to do something medically, like, as many of you will remember, that I got my second COVID shot, my second vax jab, the day before driving down to North Carolina. And I was basically, when we got down to North Carolina, I slept for like 15 hours or so. It was like an insane amount of time. The girlfriend is my personal superhero. Yes, she is. And I'm sure she'll have tales of merriment from being stuck in a car with me and my kids, because my kids, we super get along together right now. My daughter is like peak teenager and my son is still a teenager. And so there'll be this resentment and snarkiness and me trying not to talk about things, because I figured out now that my kids are both teenagers that I can't talk about anything, like ask them about their lives, because that's like me trying to barge in on what their business is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So all of that on the way to New York, and then she gets
it's only to New York.
Well, it's New York State,
New York?
so it's further up. It's
like,
further up.
Like where in New York State?
It's over by the Finger Lakes region, so it's actually
so that's a drive.
So it's over by the border of Bellingham, which is the border of Pennsylvania and New York.
Yeah,
and so that's an extended drive.
That's away.
So we get to drive up there together, spend the day with the clan. That's the wrong term. With the tribe, and then we're going to spend the night there and then drive back. And so it's going to be a pretty intense experience, I think, for her especially.
Yeah. Holy crap. Lots of fireworks going on.
Fireworks? Well,
it's either fireworks or we finally started the new Mexican-American War. I don't know, whichever. You can't really tell with these right-wing gun-toting jerk types that live here. That they... Who knows? Maybe they got some new Q conspiracy about the next 4th of July 2 or something.
Have you seen this satirical take on QAnon theories or on conspiracy theories? It's about birds being replaced by the government by drones, by pigeons. I've heard that one. So they're actually going on tour. So I believe they were recently in Philadelphia, and they were protesting the fact that the government has destroyed all the live birds and replaced them with robotic drones.
Yes, the birds are a lie, kind of.
Exactly, the birds are alive.
The dude who works at one of the convenience stores near my old job, I went in to get a cup of coffee one morning, and he started telling me that the sun was just like a spaceship.
The sun is a spaceship. Yeah, Cryptameria. People in the States don't know what's going on in the States either. So, it's true. Birds are not real. Yeah. So, any last thoughts, Jack Paterka, before we end this? Whatever we just did for the last 52 minutes.
No. I've got some new ongoing and necessary pursuits that will be going up on the satanictemple.tv. So if you have a subscription over there, please go catch up on the last 2 seasons and get ready for some more episodes of that. Like I say, there's a couple video projects kicking around that are in the works that I can't say anything about yet. And the Satanic Estate, go check out the stuff that we're doing over there, because it's been lots of fun and we're putting out a lot of good stuff, I feel. That's kind of it for now, I think.
So Vesta's asking me about a place, a pizza place. I don't know. Everything has changed, Vesta, in East Cambridge over the last 25 years or so. East Cambridge is now all biotech. It's all biotech. So the whole place has just transformed. That's the best word for it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, everyone. My name is Andy Hall. I don't know what we did over the last hour. This is what happens. And we didn't even get to hear Jack freestyle rap, but I'm
sorry.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
It's for the best.
I threw you on the spot. Everyone, I'm doing the show tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. And it should be pretty fun, to tell you the truth. What am I talking about? We're going to be talking about how many people do you think died from the heat in Oregon, Jack, from the last heat dome, the latest disaster over there?
I don't know. That's hard to gauge because out here, it's always 2 or 3 people a summer out here, but we're used to it. Oregon, where they're not used to it, and they've got humidity on top of it. I mean, who knows?
The official death count is 94. 94 people dead in Oregon from the latest heat wave. Going to be talking about that story and a bunch of other things. But people know what the morning show's about. It should be fun. And maybe even educational. I don't know. I learned things. Chat, thank you. Jack, hey, it's always a pleasure, sir.
See you next time.
All right. And maybe we'll talk about the secret project when we end the show. How's that? All right.
All right.